everyone, my name is Giovanna Proença, and today we're gonna learn how to set up CS50. So basically CS50 is a really good course if you're learning how to code by yourself, if you are a beginner, alright? Because basically in this course you're gonna learn from scratch until you are prepared to work with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Flash. So basically this CS50 course is going to build strong foundations for you because you're gonna learn C, Python, SQL, that you're gonna work with the database, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for working with the front and how you're gonna display things in a web page, and Flask in the end, working with how you're going to manipulate the data when you're working with a website. So this course is really complete, and you're going to learn all the fundamentals. So you're going to learn how to work with conditionals, functions, loops. This is a really good course, and I highly recommend you to do this. Okay? So before we start, basically this setup, we're going to teach you how can you create an account on EDX, create an account on GitHub using the Codespace, and other extra hints that we can give you while you're doing CS50, because we know how hard it is to start. You have to do a lot of setting ups, and also you need to know some tricks, but we're here to solve this problem, okay? So basically to start, we're going to start bookmarking this page because it is really extremely important to have this page in an easy access because you're going to be in this page multiple times, okay? So to start, do you see here this star? So once you click this star, it will appear here. You can click to allow it, and now it will appear here in your bookmark bar, okay? If you don't have it, you just need to click here in the three dots in the favorites, and you have exhibit the bar, the favorite bar, okay? So this is pretty much what we have to do. Now we need to create an account on EDX. So if you scroll down here, they kind of tell you how to take this course. So now we're going to create an EDX account, and in the future we're going to link this EDX account with the GitHub and those things. What is EDX? Basically, it's the platform where you're going to receive the grade, or if you want, you can receive your certificate verified as well. Okay, so we're going to click in here. Here, like we can see, we have this start learning with EDX. You can register if you don't have an account, all right? You can put your full name, email, public username, password, and region, country, and you can create an account for free. In my case, I want to register using something that I already have, for example, my Google account. So I'm going to click in here, Google, and we're going to be redirected to this page. So I was trying to create my account with Google, but I'm going to create here in the regular way, all right? For example, I can put here Giovanna Proença. The email is giovanna@doorscodingschool.com, and you can select one name that you want to appear. In my case, I'm going to put Giovanna Proença, and then you can put a password. Okay, I put here one password and create an account for free. Okay, once you click in here, I'm going to store it. We have to answer some questions. So highest level of education optional. If you don't want it to, you don't need, and I'm going to put skip for now. Okay, continue to EDX. I don't want to add things because I want to focus in our case in here. So now that we already have our account, we need to enroll for the CS50 course. So we're going to click here in Discover New. And in here, you're going to search for CS50. You can select what you want to search. So for example, CS50. If we put this in here, it will find multiple courses because CS50 always release new courses. You can select here the Introduction to Computer Science, and then you can click here to enroll. Okay, once we enroll, we're gonna be able to go to the course. So basically now inside the course, we can kind of see step by step of what we're gonna do. They kind of tell you what is a good way of working with when you're learning. For example, where you should learn once a week, 3 times a week, or 5 days a week, all right? It only depends on how much free time you have and how much you want to finish this course, okay? And then you have all the content here. You can, people that you want to find out. Here you have all the syllabus, so all the weeks you're gonna work, all the problem sets, all right? And then you can get your progress. So here in the progress bar, let's click. So here in the progress, we're able to see our grade. So this is really good. Right now, this grade won't appear anything, but when we click in here, we can see our grade. But first, we need to link our CS50 with our GitHub. So this is what's going to be our next step. And also submitting a form, but we're going to see this right now. All right. So now I'm back to CS50 again, okay? And to start linking our account with our GitHub and all of those things we need to do, first you're gonna click in week 0 Scratch, and you can click here in problem set 0, okay? Then we're going to to click in this specification, that is the first project you're gonna submit to CS50, and we're gonna scroll down to the bottom. And why is that? You're gonna do the project, okay? The goal here is to let you know how you're gonna work in this part, but basically we need to submit this form, okay? So we're gonna click in here. And in here, authorize CS50, blah, blah, blah. So since we already have an account, we're just gonna allow, okay, to make a link between our problem with the account on EDX. So here the email, the name, the EDX username. Here we have to understand this and consent the use of information by GitHub. All right, what's your GitHub username? So let's create our GitHub account. Now you're gonna search on Google GitHub, okay, and we're gonna click in here in github.com. All right. Once we click in here, we can sign up. Let's create our new account on GitHub. And why GitHub is important? Because this is where we're gonna send our code, and this is where CS50 is gonna check if our answers are correct or not. Okay? Okay, so now you enter your email. Okay, I enter here my email. We click continue. We're gonna create a password. So in my case, I'm gonna create a password here. It's strong, that's fine. You're gonna enter your username. In my case, I'm gonna put Giovanna Proenca73, for example. Continue. And would you like to receive products, blah, blah, blah? I'm gonna say no, because I don't want to float my emails. So here, please solve this puzzle to verify that you are human. Let's start the puzzle. And a spiral galaxy. One is done, and the other one is done as well. Okay, and now we can click create account, and now we have one account in GitHub. Let's verify. Let me save this in here. So I just received here the code. Let's get, and we're gonna put here on GitHub to verify. Okay. And code successful. Now it's launching here, initializing your dashboard, and we basically have the GitHub account right now, okay? In the future, we're gonna understand better how can we connect things using GitHub, but what we need right now is this name, the name that you have here as your username, okay? So I'm gonna put in here, Giovanna Proenca73. In what city, state, and or country do you live? I'm gonna put Brazil. Here you can put yours, your 4-digit year of birth, what is your which category do you feel you fall into? And here I'm gonna say among those less comfortable, okay? Because right now we have to think that we are starting how to code. How much you can do what you prefer, okay? I'm gonna select some things. How much programming experience would you say you have already? You can select here in your idea how many computer science courses have you taken. Here you can select what you have. Yes, I reviewed and understand, and yes, I understand the blah blah blah. And then you can submit that form. Okay, now we can go back to where we were before. So now that we submit the form, we need to do the step 2 of 2. Okay, so now we're gonna visit this link in here, and we're gonna connect our our GitHub account with CS50. So we need to authorize, but we don't have the GitHub yet, so don't worry. Now this next step, we're gonna create a new GitHub and we're gonna authorize. All right, and here we're gonna authorize CS50. Okay, so we are making this connection. We're letting CS50 enter in our GitHub to do the checkings for the submit. I understand, blah blah blah, and join course. Okay, so far we have no submissions, and that's great. So now that we made this step, all right, now that we finished authorizing and creating our GitHub account, now we need to work with the Codespace. So the first project we're gonna do in Scratch, all right, but from the week 1 until the end, we're gonna work our Codespace. It's an environment where we're gonna write our code, okay? We're gonna see better how it works, but basically first we need to go to week 1, then you scroll down and go to problem set 1, okay? Here in problem set 1, we have to follow these steps in here. So basically right now, we're going to log into this Codespace in here, and we're going to follow all of these steps to create a link between our code, that our code will be stored in GitHub, and we have to allow CS50 to check this. So basically, how CS50 grade us? So basically, we're going to do the problems. We send the problems to CS50 by doing submit 50. We're going to see in the future. And then they will grade us, and it will be stored in our account on EDX. So this is how it works, basically. So let's start creating here our Codespace. So in here, this will be the place where we're going to write our code, okay? So we can click here, login via GitHub, okay? We can authorize CS50 me, CS50 again, and now we are creating our Codespace. So this will be the environment where we're gonna start coding, okay? And this environment we're going to bookmark. It's important that we bookmark here in our coding folder, okay? So let's wait a second while it's setting up our Codespace, and once it is finished, we can see what is going on. Now that we have the Codespace, we have to do these steps, creating the SSH and so on, to create a link now with our Codespace and CS50. So I know it's hard to do this right now, but this will speed up our life in the future. It will save us time. It's just some work right now, but in the rest of the course, you don't need to do this anymore, okay? It's only one time. So let's start. So now this is loaded and let's start styling our code space. Here you can choose what will be the theme you prefer coding. I prefer dark, okay? So I think light is too white to code because we're gonna spend some time in this code space, okay? And that's it. You can close this, get started. All right, so now let's start following these instructions that CS50 is telling us on item 6. So we're gonna open up this link, GitHub docs, CS50 docs, okay? And we're gonna do all these steps. So the first one, open a terminal window, if not open already. Within CS50, blah, blah, we already have our terminal open. This is the terminal, okay? So what is the idea? Here in the bottom, it's going to be the terminal, and in the top, it's going to be the file. In the future, we're gonna see better how it works, but right now, at this part of the video, let's just understand the part of the terminal. Okay, execute this. Let's execute this command. When prompted to save the key, just hit enter without typing anything. So I copy this command and I'm gonna paste in here. So to paste, CS50, this terminal does not allow us to do Control V or Command V. So you can right click in your mouse, okay? And we're gonna say allow. Then you can click enter and it will generate a public private key and enter file in which you want to save. Here it's just telling us to click enter the save key, so I'm just gonna click enter. Oops, let's see. You will be prompted for a passphrase. If you only use your GitHub account for CS50, no need to input a passphrase, just hit enter. Otherwise, input a passphrase that you won't forget, then hit enter, then input it again, then hit enter. For security's sake, you won't see that what you type. You will then see a random marked image that you can ignore. I'm gonna just click enter because I'm just gonna use my GitHub for CS50. So here you just need to click enter. Okay, enter same passphrase again. Here we're gonna click enter again because we don't have a passphrase. Okay, so the key random smart image is this one. All right, this is the key. Let's see what we're gonna do. Execute blah blah blah. You will see your public key, multiple lines of seemingly random text. Highlight and copy all of those lines starting with SSH to the end. But don't highlight your terminal window prompts which contain the $sign before or after. Okay, so first let's try to do this command. So again, right click and click enter. This is the key that we're gonna use. So we're gonna copy everything until this SSHRSA. So I'm gonna do Control C. Okay, and now visit GitHub settings key, log in your GitHub username and password as usual. Don't use the passphrase you just created, if any. So now we're gonna open up GitHub again using this hyperlink. And what we need to do, log in. Okay, so now click new SSH key. Let's click in this new SSH key. All right, paste your public key into the text box under key. Optionally input a title under title. So we don't need to paste anything here in the title, and here we're going to paste what we copy in the terminal. Let me copy again because I think I wasn't able to copy. Let me see again. Okay, I was able to copy. I just highlight everything and I use the right click, okay? So in here, paste, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna paste everything. Okay. Click add SSH key. Let's click add SSH key. Now let's see the next step. Execute this in our terminal. Okay, let's execute this in our terminal. So I'm gonna right click in here and click enter. The authenticity of host blah blah can be established. This key is not known by other names. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Let's see what they tell us. Enter yes and press enter if you see this following prompt. This is exactly what we saw. So we're gonna say yes. In here, this is the same message. We're gonna say yes and click enter. And then they are telling, hi Giovanna, blah, 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 you've successfully authenticated, but GitHub does not provide shell access. And let's see if this is the message yes, this is the same message we are waiting. You should be greeted with perfect. If you don't see that, review the steps above. So basically in here, we are connected, okay? So now we're able to start coding, okay? This part of setting up our code space is that. I know it's not so nice. It's not easy to understand why we're doing this, but it's important. This is one step only. We don't need to do this again in the future if we want to code. We're just gonna do this right now, and in the future, we are free to do whatever we want, okay? So now let's see in here. Execute update 50 in your Codespace terminal window to ensure that your Codespace is up to date. If prompted, click rebuild now. So we're going to copy this and we're going to put here in our terminal. And it's going to update now that we have this, okay? Rebuild now, this warning message, rebuild. And now it's going to rebuild our Codespace, creating this connection between GitHub and CS50 course, okay? So the hardest part and the part that I don't like much, we finished, okay? Now we can focusing on other important parts, okay? So I'm gonna wait this in here, and in the future we can really check if it's working or not, okay? So now that we have the VS Code installed and all of those things, let's start trying to see how are we gonna work, how does it work, the check 50, the submit 50, all right? So I got here the hello project 1, all right? This is the first problem you're gonna do using code, using C language. And we're gonna see here some things. So basically, if we wanna create a new directory, you have to say mkdir, okay? This is our Codespace. So to create a new directory, you have to do mkdir, all right? To make directory. And we say here hello. So once I click enter, it's gonna appear here hello for us. Okay, now we have a new folder and it's empty right now. Then let's take a look in here. To enter in this, we have to work with the terminal to enter in the environment that we want to work. Okay, so basically we have to do cd, okay, to enter in this new folder that we did. So here I'm going to do cd hello. And now we're going to see in here that we have hello before our cursor, our part here in the terminal to start typing. So basically this means that we are inside of the hello folder, okay? And now let's see in here. To create a new file, we have to do code, all right? And then we say the name of the file we want to build. So here we can do code hello.c. and it will create a new file inside of the hello folder. Let's see in here. Now we have hello.c in here, and it also appears in here for us to write. So basically the terminal is the part where we're gonna run our code, and the file is where we're gonna write our code. Okay, now that we have this, I'm gonna copy this case. You probably already saw this, or you're gonna see in the future. I'm not gonna get into the details, but this is a regular file in C. Okay, now how can we run our file in C? Basically, first we need to compile. So to compile, we have to do make and the name of our file, make hello, and this will compile for us. Great. And if we want to run, we have to do ./hello. And what is gonna happen? It's gonna appear hello world for us here in the terminal, and we can see here the message hello world. All right. So this is the first task you have to do. Okay. If you want to see what are the files you have inside of your folder. If you want to clear your terminal, you can do clear, and it will clear your terminal, all right? If you want to check what are the files and folders you have inside the folder you currently are, you do ls, and this will give you all the files you have. So here we have hello and hello.c, and it's appearing here what do we have. If I want to go back to the previous folder that I was, you can do cd space ... and now we are in the main folder, okay? And again, if you want to enter again in hello, you do cd hello, okay? So you can go back and forth in here what you prefer. Now this part I already did. Now let's see how can we test our code. So if we want to test our code, we can copy in the end of every problem that we have here this check 50. So you just copy this path that they gave, then you paste. Okay, so here I'm letting me paste. Once I click enter, it will take some time and it's gonna run my code. Okay, it's connecting, authenticating, and verifying. So now basically CS50 has some tests so you can check if you did your code correctly. If you pass all the tests, this is a good sign that you probably did your code the right way. If you pass all the tests, it's going to be a message in green. But if you have red messages, this means that you have some problems and you have to fix before submitting. So this check 50 is really good so you can check if you're doing the correct thing or not. For example, this thing here in green, I passed the test, but the test for Emma and Rodrigo, I didn't pass because it's in red. Okay, so this is a good thing to check. Then once you have everything green and you're sure what you're doing, you can get here the style 50, and the style 50 is gonna give you some hints of how to improve the style of your code. So in here, let me clear. And I'm gonna paste now the style50.c, and it will tell us if it's looking good and also a comment of what you should do to improve. In this case, they're telling me to add more comments, all right, so you can add more comments or not. And in every case, it's really good to do the style 50 because this will be important for your grade, okay? So before you submit, always do the check 50 and the style 50. Then once you finally finish the code, you copy the submit 50, and the submit 50 will send your code to CS50, and then you can get the grade. So here in the submit 50, your code will be run into some tests that you cannot see, and basically if you pass all the tests, this means that your code is correct and you're gonna be graded by this. Here you have to say yes because of academic honesty, so this means that you did everything correctly and by yourself, okay? And once you run, you can click here, you can do command click or control click, and this will open it up the result of your tests, so it will tell you if you pass the tests or not. Here you can have an idea. For example, I passed half of the tests and here I got 100%. So basically this link you can check if you're gonna have a good grade or not, if you pass the test or not, okay? This is pretty much what you have in here. Now we're gonna see some shortcuts that you can use while you're coding. We can do some things. If you want to copy this line, you can do Ctrl+C or Command+C, okay? And you can paste using Ctrl+V or Command+V, okay? For example, I don't want to have this new update that I did. I don't want to have the line 3. Instead of removing everything, you can do Ctrl+C or Command+Z, and it will go back one step before, how it was one step before, okay? If you do Ctrl+Z again, it will go back one step before of what you did. So it's really nice to know these commands when you're coding. Okay, so now we basically saw the main ideas that we need for starting to learn how to code. The final step is just optional if you want to learn how to record videos to send questions for us, for example, if you're stuck at some point and you need some guidance. So we're gonna now teach you how to install Loom. Loom is a platform where you can record small videos at maximum 5 minutes, and it's free. So you're gonna record your video and send a link to someone. So let's see how it works. So to do this, we're gonna open up a new tab and we're gonna search for Loom. L-O-O-M, okay, Loom. And in here, we can click in this www.loom.com, okay? And here you can create an account, get Loom for free. We can create an account together as well. So for example, I wanna sign up with Google. I'm gonna create here an account. I'm gonna select my email. I'm creating an account, I agree with the service. And now we're able to have our code, okay? For personal use, you can answer some questions. Great, this will be the name of my workspace. I don't want to collaborate with anyone. And here, do you see install Chrome extension? We can install this Chrome extension, so you can click in this button and we're going to be redirected to install the Chrome extension. So to install, you're going to click here, add to Chrome, add extension, and it will appear in here once it is downloaded. So we are adding to Chrome this, and let's wait a second how it works. And like we can see in here, now we have this icon in our extension, so we have Loom in our extension, okay? So for example, you can start recording in here. You can click in here, new video. It will give you the setup, record a Loom, for example, and you can use the extension. We're gonna see how to use the extension in a second. In here, if you wanna record a Loom, you can click in here and start, but we can start recording from this tab if you want. For example, oh, I have one question in this part. You click here in extensions, Loom, and it will load here the tab to start recording and in our own Loom. So you can allow using the camera, the microphone, and you can start recording. You have 5 minutes free. Once you finish this 5 minutes video, it will stop instant, okay? Because this is a free account. So we can basically use Zoom for this. Okay, so once you record your video using Loom, you're gonna be redirected to this page, all right, where you can see the video that you just recorded, and you can share your video using 2 ways. You can click in this button here called share, and you can share using social media or something else, or you can see here in this icon where when you hover it appears the message copy link, and you can send this link for whoever you want, all right? And if you are a member of our Telegram group that is exclusive for our students and where you can ask any question and we're here to help you, check the description below. You just open up the group on Telegram and you can paste in here the link, all right? And we will be able to watch your question and answer you the best way we can, all right? And the last hint that we can check is one really good resource that has named W3 Schools. You can search here on Google. W3 Schools. It's an online web tutorial. So here, if you have any question about, for example, I don't know how to use the print function, you can search here for print Python, and it will give you a really nice explanation how print works. And with some examples, you see, you click in here, you will be redirected to this part. So you can try it yourself. There is a definition and usage. It's really good. I highly recommend you to have W3 Schools in your bookmark. So let's bookmark this page, W3 Schools, here in stars, and done, okay? And this is basically it. There is another command that we can do is whenever you're ready, you need to ask some question, you can take a screenshot of your screen. So here, if you are using in Windows, you're gonna click the shift, the key here, that it's the symbol of Windows and the letter S. If you do this command, like you can see here in the screen, you can print one specific part of your code, for example, and then you just need to paste. You just need to do Ctrl-V once you copy, you have this screenshot. If you are in Mac, if you want to take a screenshot using a Mac computer, all right, you do this Command Shift 3, and this will capture a screenshot and save it as a file, okay, like it's displayed in here, all right? So, well, this is pretty much what we have to do to set up our course, all right, to start working with CS50. Now you're more than prepared, more than ready to start doing all the problems. So you have all the setup for the week 0 from week 1 until week 10, okay? So I think right now you won't be having any other issue, okay? So if you enjoyed this content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you have any question, you can send here on the comment, all right? And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. If you would like to have full support from programming expert via Telegram group and group coaching, check the description below.